He was shy. He was unsure. He didn't have a business plan. But he had one crazy idea. What if I could sell Japanese running shoes in America? Phil Knight wasn't a born entrepreneur. In fact, he was an introverted accounting student who loved running more than talking. Born in Portland, Oregon in 1938, Phil was the son of a newspaper publisher. His father didn't understand his dreams. He believed in stable jobs, not risky ideas. But young Phil was restless. He ran track at the University of Oregon under legendary coach Bill Bowerman. Bowerman wasn't just a coach, he was obsessed with making runners faster. He used to experiment with shoes, even boiling rubber and waffle irons to create better soles. That small obsession would unknowingly spark a billion-dollar brand. After college, Phil wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life. So, like many lost souls, he decided to travel. But before leaving, he wrote a college paper with a strange idea. Japan, known for cheap electronics, could also produce quality running shoes cheaper than German brands like Adidas. While backpacking through Japan, Phil visited a small shoe company called Onitsuka Tiger. On a whim, he told them he was the American distributor for sports shoes. That was a lie. He had no company, no office, no team, but they believed him. They asked, "What's your company called?" Phil panicked, then blurted out, "Blue Ribbon Sports." And just like that, the seed of Nike was planted. When he returned to Oregon, Phil borrowed $500 from his father and ordered his first shipment of Tiger shoes. He started selling them from the trunk of his car at track meets. No office, no store, just passion and pavement. His first few customers were athletes who appreciated quality and price. Slowly, word spread. But Phil needed help. So he partnered with none other than his former coach, Bill Bowerman. The same coach who used to tinker with shoes now became a co-founder. Bowerman even sent his own experimental shoe designs to Japan to improve future models. Blue Ribbon Sports was born, and they started to grow. But success wasn't easy. For years, Phil worked 2 jobs, one as an accountant, the other selling shoes on weekends. He had to fight with Japanese suppliers, deal with cash flow issues, and at times couldn't pay his own bills. Banks didn't trust him. His friends thought he was wasting time. Even his father lost faith. But Phil kept going. Not for money, for belief. In 1971, things took a turn. Onitsuka tried to cut him out and give distribution rights to someone else. Betrayed and heartbroken, Phil decided to break away and start his own brand. They needed a new name, a new identity, something bold. One of his employees suggested Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. At first, Phil hated the name, but it stuck. They also needed a logo. A student named Carolyn Davidson was paid just $35 to design the swoosh. Phil said he didn't love it, but it'll grow on him. That swoosh is now one of the most iconic logos in history. Nike's first big break came in 1972 during the U.S. Olympic trials. They launched the Nike Cortez, a running shoe that combined style with performance. Runners started noticing. Athletes wanted it. Young people loved it. But the real explosion came in 1984 when Nike signed a young rookie basketball player named Michael Jordan. At the time, Jordan didn't even want to sign with Nike. He preferred Adidas. But Nike offered him something no brand had ever done before, a signature line, Air Jordan. The gamble paid off. Nike expected to sell $3 million worth of Jordans in a year. They sold $126 million in just 1 year. Nike wasn't just a shoe company anymore. It was a cultural force. From athletes to rappers, from kids to CEOs, everyone wanted to just do it. That slogan, launched in 1988, became a mantra for generations. But behind the scenes, Phil Knight was still the quiet, introverted man he always was. He avoided interviews, rarely spoke at public events. He let the brand speak louder than he did. In his memoir, Shoe Dog, he confessed the journey wasn't glamorous. It was filled with fear, doubt, lawsuits, betrayals, and personal losses. He lost friends, struggled with health, lost his son Matthew in a tragic diving accident, something that changed him forever. But he never gave up. Because for Phil, Nike was never just about shoes. It was about belief. Belief that a nobody from Oregon could challenge Adidas. Belief that athletes deserved better gear. Belief that dreams, no matter how crazy, are worth chasing. Today, Nike is worth over $190 billion. Its swoosh is recognized in every corner of the globe. And it all started with one man, one crazy idea, and a trunk full of shoes. Phil Knight once said, "When you see only problems, you're not seeing clearly. You're seeing things you want to be different, and that's the beginning of a solution." So the next time you see someone running in Nikes, remember, behind every swoosh, there's a story of struggle, grit, and quiet rebellion. The story of Phil Knight, the man who turned running shoes into a revolution.